So we have talked about how proteins are sent to Golgi apparatus, and from Golgi the ER resident proteins are sent back to ER. Now let's talk about how proteins are specifically packaged in the Golgi apparatus, trans-Golgi apparatus, and sent to onward location. The onward location we are going to talk about in this module is the lysosomes. So let's look at that. Just to refresh you, lysosomes are membrane enclosed compartments filled with hydrolytic enzymes which convert polymers into monomers so that they can be recycled and used for other purposes. Lysosomes contain 40 types of hydrolytic enzymes including proteases, nucleases, etc., etc., and etc. Basically all function in breaking down larger molecules into their monomer subunits. For optimal activity, these enzymes require a pH of about 5, which is acidic. The contents of cytosol are doubly protected because we have seen that how these proteins, lysosomal proteins, once they are at the early stages of their synthesis, they're captured and cellular systems ensure that they never enter cytosol. They're injected directly in the lumen of endoplasmic reticulum. These proteins are inactive there because in order for these enzymes to be active, the optimal pH is 5. Lysosomal hydrolases and membrane proteins are synthesized in the rough ER, transported through Golgi to lysosomes. The transport vesicles that deliver these proteins to lysosome, but from trans-Golgi network, these vesicles incorporate the lysosomal proteins and exclude other proteins being packaged into different transport vesicles for delivery elsewhere. For example, the plasma membrane is one of the targets, which is onward route from the Golgi apparatus. Lysosomal proteins are recognized and selected in trans-Golgi network with required accuracy. Very accurate system. Lysosomal hydrolases carry a unique marker in the sequence of a specific sugar called mannose 6-phosphate or M6P groups. Here, for example, you can see here's a lysosomal hydrolase. It is a glycosylated protein. It has sugar molecules attached to it, and to this protein the M6P is attached, and this is basically address for proteins that have to be taken to the lysosome. M6P is added to N-linked oligosaccharides of soluble lysosomal enzymes in the lumen of the cis-Golgi network, and the M6P groups are recognized by transmembrane M6P receptor proteins which are present in trans-Golgi network. So this addition of M6P occurs in the cis-Golgi network, whereas recognition of the structure occurs in the trans-Golgi network. Receptors bind to lysosomal hydrolases on the lumen side of the membrane and to adaptins to assemble clathrin coats on the cytosolic side. I'll show you what I mean. Basically, let's show you what I just said. Here, for example, here's our lysosomal hydrolase shown here in green with a little dot. This dot is basically mannose 6-phosphate or M6P, which is attached to our lysosomal hydrolase. You can see here. This structure is recognized by special receptors which are present in this process is happening in cis-Golgi network. Recognition of the structure is happening in the trans-Golgi network. This structure is recognized by specific receptor. This receptor, once it binds the lysosomal enzyme, it has a conformational change. Now the cytoplasmic domain of this receptor will bind a specific type of coat protein. We have talked about COP1 and COP2. In this case, the coat protein is clathrin coat, and this will result in formation of this vesicle. And once this vesicle has been formed, it will be released from the trans-Golgi network. The clathrin coat will shed, and this transport vesicle will now fuse with the late endosome, delivering its cargo. Here, the pH is 5. So this binding is happening at a higher pH, less acidic environment, whereas the release of cargo by this receptor happens at a lower pH or more acidic pH. And so now the protein has been released, and now this receptor will again be recycled sent back to the Golgi apparatus where it can bind other cargo proteins and take them to the lysosome. So lysosome, as we know, basically is the organelle which degrades larger structures. I would like to tell you that not only the phagocytic vesicles fuse with the lysosome, also the cellular organelles that have been damaged over course of period, they also fuse with the lysosome. Here, for example, this mitochondria was damaged. A membrane will form around this mitochondria. This mitochondria will fuse with the lysosome, and basically this mitochondria will be degraded. We already know how bacteria are phagocytosed by, for example, white blood cells, and these bacteria then also fuse with the lysosome, end up in the lysosome where they are degraded. So this is how lysosome works. I would like to tell you that function of lysosome is very, very important. There is a class of diseases called eye cell diseases. In these diseases, hydrolytic enzymes are missing from lysosomes of the fibroblasts, and the undigested substrate accumulates in the lysosome, which consequently forms large inclusion bodies in the cell. Therefore, this disease is called inclusion cell disease or eye cell disease. In eye cell disease, patients' hydrolases are missing from the lysosomes and are actually present in the blood. Because they fail to be sorted out properly in the Golgi apparatus, and the hydrolases are secreted rather than being transported to the lysosome. So we have talked about how onward traffic from trans-Golgi to lysosome works, how proteins are sorted and specifically delivered to the lysosome. We will talk about how vesicles are formed from the cell surface and taken inside the cell. We will talk about that in the next module.